to those streets.
Oh, you mean the side streets?
Side streets, and why you got those apartments for the elderly?
So what you look at is it's only going to be those 2 panels on the east side, and then you can always do half the intersection so people can get in and out.
Right.
Do half, let the concrete cure, and then you do the other half. So CE's done this type of work before. They're good at it. They know what they're doing.
What kind of cure they need for that? 3-4 days?
Only if they use the high early. I don't think they're going to use that type of concrete. So we're probably looking at 7 days.
7 days,
See if we
yeah, typical.
see if we get a compressive strength of about 4,000 pounds.
What about the North
Right,
Fourth? Is that
right.
going to be an issue for residents to access who live on North Fourth? I know we had
No.
a little bit of an issue last year.
And, I mean, it's going to be minor issues all the time. I mean, there's no way to avoid some of it. But and one of the things we've talked about is running a detour so they can close sections of it for a time. But they'll always leave it open for residents. It's just that they may have to either wait or have to work their way around some signs to get to their homes. I don't remember there being any consistent problems where people couldn't get in and out. It was just depends on if they were working in front of those houses or not.
But we're communicating with them when that work's going to start?
That's up to the contractor, but yes.
Okay, thank you.
Happy on Parkwood, could we get some signs or some temporary signs to kind of limit truck traffic on there while it is curing? Because there is some truck traffic, ends up on that road at times. And I think it might be to our best interest to kind of limit that, until the engineer says it's fully cured.
We'll see. I would think the CE would block it completely, and so there's no access, so nobody's driving over it. So unless they run over the signs or the barricades.
Right, no, I mean, after that point, from vehicles to 80,000-pound trucks is a big difference.
But I think if you open it up, putting a sign up isn't going to stop anybody. I mean, they're not going to avoid it, and they're not going to know what to avoid. So, yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay. That's it.
Very good. Takes us to our staff reports. Kenny?
Good evening, everyone. Should have a report in front of you.
Yeah.
I'd like to start off by welcoming our new board member. This is my first appearance in front of you, and also offer, like I do all the other aldermen, that we're out there every Wednesday night. If you'd like to stop by and take a tour of the facility, and we'll show you around, tell you what we have, and explain things to you if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Any questions about my report? I will say something about the roof repairs. We did have 3 people come in and give us estimates, and what we did was we took their estimates and combined them to what we thought was a good spec. So that's how we came up with the spec. And whenever we got the specs put together and we went out for bids, I also sent emails out to the companies that gave us prior estimates and got no response from one. The other one said they were going to come and look at it and never did. And we ended up with just the one. But we do feel that that one is a good comprehensive plan because we added some things from the other ones that wasn't in the original. So we're recommending approval so we can get that thing started and get the roof taken care of.
Amen. That'd be awesome.
Did they give you an estimate when they could start?
I haven't called them yet because I didn't want to lead into that we had given them the bid or anything at that point. I would anticipate shortly, but with construction being the way it is, it's hard to say. And they are the ones that did the work or are doing work on St. John's School District, so they're a well-known company.
Oh, yeah. And usually in the summer, they're busy with schools because they have to get all that done before school starts again. So that may put it off a little bit.
That sounds good.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Bring David up.
Good evening. Got my report there. You can see the next Heritage Commission meeting would be Monday. Just a note on the building department, that demo permit that takes all of the homes that were unfortunately destroyed by fire last year, they're all addressed at this point. Under the comprehensive plan, I just wanted to note that just gave P&Z an update. They have completed the land use survey and are reviewing the current comp plan demographic data, and will be scheduling some public outreach meetings in June or July. which is part of that agenda we shared a few months back. Besides that, certainly had an uptick in nuisance complaints, but most of that was vegetation. Of the 14 you see that letters went out last week, 9 have been mowed. So I think the rain and then the quick sunshine brought a lot of grass really quickly. And most of them are addressed now, though there's a few more each day, unfortunately. That's all I got.
All right, thanks, David. Thank you. Jeff?
Good evening. So you can see in the report there, we've got several things that are going on in and around the area, including the Living History Saturdays are underway. That's an ongoing event. They'll be running each Saturday all the way through the month of September. Some of our most recent events, good turnout for those. One of those, a follow-up to the STG Gravel Classic that was conducted on April 9th, where we had 417 participants in that event. We had an opportunity to meet with event organizers and some area merchants and other representatives for around the area. That was very, very optimistic that so many people showed up and for a meeting to discuss what we can do going forward on this event. The one-day economic impact number that was shared with us for the event, and this is specifically for the riders and the staff members alone, with a $45,000 plus impact one day on the city. Some of the area retailers, one of the things that we had hoped to achieve with that particular event was residual tourism as a result of having the event. Already we've had some reports from retailers, museums, and a number of other entities that said that they've had people already coming back that were specifically because of the event. They'd never been to St. Genevieve before, but have already returned. No date has been set, of course, for 2023, but they're looking at options, but they would like to propose at some point in time, somewhere in that same vicinity, that time of the year for next year. Tours and groups being a little more active. Some of those already taking place in April and May. 3 are scheduled, still yet to go this month. Had a good group of 45 plus in town today. Also been reaching out to some tour directors and tour owners in specifically Nashville, Tennessee. And so we've already had some of the directors that actually came here to St. Genevieve to look around, see if this was an opportunity where they might develop a new tour. There are some stops that are being looked at where we'll be part of an ongoing tour across Missouri from that area. So they were in town actually today to discuss some particulars and see for themselves. And so they're already looking at some additional tours, and some of those where we would be the primary destination going forward, where they would, instead of spending 3 to 4 hours, they'd actually be spending 2 or 3 days. At the state level, marketing grant has been announced that will be reverting to a 50% reimbursement as opposed to the 75% that we enjoyed in the last year. Visitors are slightly up at the Welcome Center. Also, thanks to all the folks who are doing a lot of hard work down there, hot as it is. I think some mulch went in this morning. Some of the overgrowth, vines, bushes, trees, everything's been removed, starting to clean up. Looking good, obviously, for the garden walk that's coming up this weekend, along with other things. National Park. Thank goodness we had no incident when I'm happy to report that when we moved the diorama, that was fantastic that we had a lot of manpower to help with that. And also the repainting and that will be repainting of the interior is scheduled to come because they were trying to match some paint inside, but 40-year-old paint doesn't match very well, so they're going to do a repaint job there, and we're going to install a TV monitor behind the new kiosk for tourism there in the corner. Social media, still growing very well, very solid, especially proud of the post reach numbers, so those continue to increase. And a few upcoming events to take note of. Of course, mentioned the Master Gardener's Garden Walk coming up this weekend, as well as Pioneer Days. They'll also be happening, both of those on the 14th. Garden Walk will also be on the 15th. The Missouri Tourism Roadshow that was rescheduled from, I believe, February, will be here on May 24th over at the Community Center. And of course, the Fourth Friday Art Walk is coming up on the 27th.
We did the cleanup on the overgrowth, the vines and trees, what have you.
That was Alliance. It was, I'm happy to schedule some of that, and it's been kind of ongoing process from some of the overgrowth to what they were putting in the emulsion.
What's our staff level on the tourism welcome center? Do we have, how many staff we got?
It's myself and one part-timers.
Okay. One? Okay.
What's that one-day economic impact, that 45,000? Where does that number come from? You said it was shared with you.
It was shared with me from the organizers of the event,
Okay.
and that's based on the Missouri average for expenditure for per person each day in the state of Missouri. So, any other questions?
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, Jeff.
Good. Thanks, Jeff.
Are there any committee reports?
Not this week.
All righty.
Hey,
Yes, sir?
not this week, so I'm going to try to put you on the hook here. Did we get follow-up on a work order on that bathroom, the hole in the wall? Did we complete a work order to repair that? Does anybody know?
What's the question?
Bathroom in the parks where there was a hole in the wall, did we complete a work order to repair that?
I don't know that we have a work order on that.
Okay, rephrase the question, can we get a work order?
Yeah, we didn't put in a formal thing with it. It's been there for X amount of years, not to put it off, but
Right. Well, what if we decided tonight we wanted to fix that? Can we do it? How long would it take? Is it possible? Can we fix that hole in the wall in the bathrooms up there in the park?
I sent Steve a note on that, so I
Okay.
just don't think it's been scheduled yet.
Okay, all right, so it's in progress?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Thank you. Takes us to, if there's no other committee reports, we'll go to public comments. Dina, please come to the podium.
Hello.
Dina Kryler, Chamber of Commerce Director. I just wanted to say thank you to Happy and your admin staff for hosting us for our leadership group that we had here, well, I guess what was that, in April. Your department heads all did a great job, and the group was very happy with the tour and also the presentation. I also want to say that we're going to get to do, I think in July, we're at the Firehouse as well for a tour for our Emergency Management Day. And then in September, we're really looking forward to the park board. So we're going to be doing, I got some strong gentlemen in this group, so we're going to put them to work in September to do, I think it's Valley Springs, a project there. So just to let you know that we do appreciate you guys giving us your time, because I know it's very stretched. So I do appreciate that. So we are looking forward to the next couple of months to getting into some other department heads. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dina.
And just so you know, this is the time that we would have heard people if they had questions about redistricting. We had advertised for it. We put it on the Facebook page. We put the information out there. But we don't have anybody that has any questions. So I think we fulfilled that requirement or request from the board.
There you go.
Are there any other public comments? Very good.
Very good.
Takes us to the consent agenda.
I've got some questions about the street closure request for the Oktoberfest. Kara, do you think you could answer a few questions for me? Maybe. Okay. So, I have gotten some inquiries about the event, so I'm probably going to go a little beyond the scope of your request, if that's all right. So you have it listed as organization SG Oktoberfest. Have you formed an actual organization?
So we're just a committee.
Okay.
Our plan is after this year to use the money that we have from the t-shirt sales and stuff this year to do a nonprofit for next year.
Okay, so you're
We
not
just did-
currently.
we didn't have, there wasn't enough time basically to
Okay.
do all the nonprofit stuff and pull off an event this year, both.
Okay.
So
So how are you handling insurance, liquor license, those types of things?
So we are putting out bids for insurance. We just
Okay.
went to Wilkes and Farm Bureau and Lake Nen. And then somebody else was looking at it a couple of different places too. So we will have, we have that in our funding for us to be able to do that. We are still, we have a whole marketing plan as far as what we're getting, where we're getting money from and what their benefits are from doing that and being involved in the parade and all of those things. So we're pretty confident that we'll have the money that we need to do everything we need. We have over almost $4,000 at this moment. And that's from our sponsorships and stuff like that. And as far as liquor license go, so that's what the conversation I had with Happy is that we would put one beer garden on the street between Merchant and Market, and it would be closed off for that actual beer garden, and there would be music and games on each end of it, is the idea at this moment. When we see how many vendors and things we get, that may have to be adapted, but that's kind of the plan for right now.
And so whose liquor license will you be using?
Everybody will be doing their own, like it will be their catering liquor license. So we're, so like Jackson Street Brewery down in Perryville, they would file their own catering license for themselves to have it there.
Okay. So how does that work with us?
That'll be coming to you in the future.
Right.
To allow them to do that.
Okay.
At this point, they haven't made applications, so.
Okay, because on the agenda, it says alcohol sales on Main Street.
What you're approving is alcohol sales on Main Street.
Okay.
So what Kara was looking for was approval from the board for their insurance purposes, saying that we are allowing it on the street, as opposed to on the Lions Club Park, where they own that, or at Audubon's, where they own that property. So this is public property, and they're looking for approval
And because
to be able to
then for
establish.
them to get their catering license, they have to have approval of the property in order to then get the liquor license for the day.
So specifics would follow up.
Correct.
Right,
Okay.
right. You're not
Correct.
approving anybody to do it. You're just approving that it can be, that you can have a beer garden blocked off and properly fenced or whatever on Main Street.
And so we'll get those details in a festival application
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's also a little unusual to have a street closure request that's not specific. So I'm just sort of wondering,
It was Main Street from Merchant to Washington.
as of now, maybe more in future.
Correct, because it's depending on how many vendors we get coming in. And so, I mean, it's the event is growing. Every week we're getting more and more vendors. So I mean, I don't want to narrow us into this only one area and then have to turn down vendors. So.
It says market to Washington on
Yeah,
here.
sorry, that's what I meant. Did I say Merchant?
Merchant.
Market to Washington, yes. So it may grow and grow up Merchant or Market Street
okay.
would be the areas we would grow. But I can't, I mean, I don't, our plan is, so we have the Lions Club, who is hopefully going to do food and beer. They haven't for sure said that yet. If you've ever been to an Oktoberfest, it's basically a big ongoing beer garden. So we're not quite able to do that, but we have the beer and food there. Walk down to Main Street, and then we have our beer and food there that's like public, and then Audubon's will have their beer and food. So it'll be almost a continuous kind of beer garden. And then after Audubon's parking lot and down is where the vendors will start. So
then you would put in an amended request at some point if you wanted.
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday?
No, it's a Friday, Saturday. It's just a Saturday and Sunday.
15, 16, 17.
So it should just be,
It says 15
The
to
ninth?
7 p.m. to the 17th at 6 p.m.
yeah, well, sorry. I had Mother's Day this past weekend at Audubon and just wasn't prepared for that to be crazy. So it should be that Friday night at 7 p.m. for them to start setting up.
Okay.
And then it'll be closed Saturday and Sunday.
But still access for residents to come and go that weekend.
I mean, it's whatever Jordan Fett does. So, I mean, I think that's what we would request. So it would be minimal. There's not a whole lot of residents in that area. But obviously, we're not going to tell somebody they can't go to their own house. So.
Well, and then there's fire codes too that they have
Right.
to abide by so that the traffic could get through.
Right. Right.
You got a plan anyway, right?
Yeah. So far, it's been working. We've got 22
Yeah.
booths at this moment. So.
Right.
Oktoberfest start in September.
And you have a plan to communicate with residents?
We finalized a letter Tuesday night that should be going out to all residents.
Okay.
Yep.
It's just a pretty long closure.
I mean, it's comparable to what Jordan Fat is.
Right.
So.
Right, but that's been an ongoing, that's sometimes an issue too. I'll
Sure.
put it that way.
Sure.
Especially for new residents who don't necessarily know this is the way it's always been.
Sure.
So it's nice to communicate with the residents.
Yeah, that's part of the application is that we have to contact the area. So we went through all that. We're meeting every 3 weeks, basically from now until the event, to get everything organized and put off. So.
Well, in '93, we didn't have Jordan Fett, so we had a deal going in October that year, if you remember.
That was on the square, wasn't it?
going
It was
way back.
pretty minimal. It wasn't very big. I remember that.
I remember it clearly.
And we had it a couple of years, is my recollection.
We've gotten really great traction. I mean, I think it's going to end up being a pretty great event. So.
Yeah.
Or Sherman as his county official.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe?
Can we get input
We-
from
we
both
are-
of the chiefs while they're here? Or is now not the time for that, or?
Well, they've approved, the police department's already approved it. The chief, he goes, fire chief, same way with Jordan Fett, I'm sure, so.
If I can for just a second. The fire department's official stance is we're not opposed to closing streets. We just have to have enough room to get our trucks through there, so I need an 8-foot minimum clearance down the center of the road. So if we have vendors on either side, we need to have some room in the middle so we can get a truck there. Because we have to be within 150 foot of the house or something that burns to get our hoses off and get into the building. So we're not opposed to closing, we just need to make sure we have room. And that's one of the problems we've had with Jordan Fett for years, is they go from one side to the other side and twist and turn and islands, and
Our plan is to put everybody on the east side of Main Street.
we'd be fine with that as long as we have enough room to get a truck through.
Yeah.
Because part of that is we plan to have our Volkswagen parade, so we're putting all the vendors on one side of the street so the parade can come through. So,
You got to get your Volkswagen ready.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. For me?
Well, Bob's going to make a motion
Need a motion?
for the consent agenda.
Oh, I make a motion to approve the consent.
All in favor? Aye. Very good, thank you. Takes us to old business. Second reading of Bill Number 4490, an ordinance approving a budget amendment to the City of St. Genevieve for the fiscal year 2022 budget relating to various revenue and expenditure increases.
Move approve.
Second?
For a roll call, please.
Alderwoman Claythorne?
Yes.
Alderwoman Johnson?
Yes.
Alderman Donovan?
Yes.
Alderman Jokers?
Yes.
Alderman Eidman?
Yes.
Alderman Rainey?
Yes.
Alderman Prince?
Yes.
Alderwoman Armbruster?
Yes.
We have 8 yes votes. Bill number 4490 now becomes ordinance number 4412.
Thank you. Second reading of Bill Number 4491, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve, Missouri, amending the personnel manual as set forth below.
Move approval.
Second?
For a roll call, please.
Alderwoman Claythorne?
Yes.
Alderwoman Johnson?
Yes.
Alderman Donovan?
Yes.
Alderman Jokers?
Yes.
Alderman Eidman?
Yes.
Alderman Rainey?
Yes.
Alderman Prince?
Yes.
Alderwoman Armbruster?
Yes.
8 yes votes. Bill number 4491 now becomes ordinance number 4413.
Very good. Takes us to new business, approval of the annual liquor license renewals.
These are all scrutinized by the police chief, right?
I guess.
Aren't they? Chief Benson?
They give us an annual rundown, and if we have any specific issues with any vendors, we give them that input, but yeah, we don't have any to it.
Thank you.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second that.
All in favor? Aye. Very good, thank you. Takes us to first reading of bill number 4492, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve, Missouri, amending Schedule 3 parking restrictions, Table 3E, handicap parking as set forth below.
What was the request? Was this an individual came forward to make this request? Oh,
That's
it's
the
your house,
individual.
Mayor?
Yes, it was
No, what's happening is there's, the board issues, go through the motion to get somebody a handicap parking spot. Well, it's issued to that individual, the way I understand it. So the house is sitting there, it's just, there's two of them right here on Market Street. Well, the people have moved away. So there's two handicap parking spots out there that nobody's using, right across from Valley School.
So is it actually issued to the individual or to the address?
It's the address.
The address.
Yeah, so we're eliminating it from the addresses that you see below.
Yeah.
Oh,
Motion to approve?
that's a good idea.
And Valley,
Pardon me?
sorry, Valley doesn't need those parking spaces for their, or,
No, it's on the other side, across from Valley. Parking is always, it'd be beneficial for Valley to have them, they would be able to park out there too.
yeah.
And both of those residents there have off-street parking too, so,
Sorry to interrupt.
so it's okay.
I don't know.
And if Valley needed a handicap spot, they would have to come to the board and apply for it. So this is just eliminating the,
They have
The residential.
somewhere
Yeah,
alongside that, right?
I have a motion and a second, don't I?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you got that down? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Okay, it takes us to the bill number 4493, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve authorizing the mayor to accept a contract proposal with Miners Hagen Roofing and Sheet Metal LLC of Farmington, Missouri for the Firehouse roof repair project in the amount of $11,400.
Motion to approve?
All in favor?
Motion for a second reading?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second reading of bill number 4493, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve authorizing the mayor to accept a contract proposal with Miners Hagen Roofing and Sheet Metal LLC of Farmington, Missouri for the Firehouse roof repair project in the amount of $11,400.
Motion to approve?
Second.
A roll call, please.
Alderwoman Cleghorn.
Yes.
Alderwoman Johnson.
Yes.
Alderman Donovan.
Yes.
Alderman Jokers.
Yes.
Alderman Eidman.
Yes.
Alderman Rainey.
Yes.
Alderman Prince.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armbruster. 8 yes votes. Bill number 4493 now becomes ordinance number 4414.
Thank you. So takes us to bill number 4494, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve, Missouri authorizing the city administrator to sign a special warranty deed to transfer ownership of 59.60 acres along Progress Parkway to the St. Genevieve County Catholic Church Real Estate Corporation.
I have a question about this. So how does it take place that they give us their property?
They'll have their own special warranty deed that they'll sign off on, and we'll sign off as well. It'll match what you actually have in front of you.
Right.
We've coordinated with them, and that was where we copied that special warranty deed from.
Yep. Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion for a second reading of bill number, 4494.
Second.
All in favor of that? I don't care.
Aye.
So I have all in favor of that? Aye.
Aye.
Second reading of bill number 4494, an ordinance of the City of St. Genevieve, Missouri authorizing the city administrator to sign a special warranty deed to transfer ownership of 59.60 acres along Progress Parkway to the St. Genevieve County Catholic Church Real Estate Corporation.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Cleghorn.
Yes.
Alderwoman Johnson.
Yes.
Alderman Donovan.
Yes.
Alderman Jokers.
Yes.
Alderman Eidman.
Yes.
Alderman Rainey.
Yes.
Alderman Prince.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armbruster. Yes. 8 yes votes. Bill number 4494 now becomes ordinance number 4415.
Thank you. Is there any other business? If there's no other business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.